Good morning, good evening.
Good evening, good morning.
How was your week after picking up Warrior Magician Lover King?
Yeah, it's been probably one of the best weeks I've had.
Interesting. How come?
I was pretty productive.
Okay.
Trained really well.
Okay.
Ate really well.
Great.
We had. I didn't get out as I promised with Mateus.
How
Went
come?
a couple of times, but then the other 2 days, Yasmin had plans after kindy. So we reverted to football in the garden.
Okay.
Which actually isn't football in the garden because he doesn't kick the ball to you. He kicks the ball at the wall. You've got to play with a separate ball. So that was quite interesting. Got out, played golf, which was excruciatingly enjoyable. And then what do we do? Oh, Saturday we had like a bit of a datey, filmy night, sexy night, which was cool. Followed by the local rugby league team getting smoked. So double-edged sword, but that was good. A lot of conscious thinking time, albeit not many decisions made.
What are you thinking about? Let's go from there.
But the big kind of topic blocker on my radar at the moment is this accounting firm opportunity.
Okay.
Staring it in the face, and there's a deadline coming, whether or not I choose to move forward or it gets listed.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just struggling to. I basically want somebody to take the lead for me and tell me whether or not I should do it.
Uh-oh.
And I've done things like, I don't know, set up a new AI agent with ChatGPT to actually analyze this opportunity, and here's the numbers, and tell me what I'm missing, and what should I be thinking about, and weighing up, and and it's an opportunity to do something different with it, and yeah.
Okay. I want to show you something because I think that this will be beneficial for you to see.
And then I've had Yasmin reinforcing that just make a decision or choice, sorry, make a choice and then figure out the rest. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. To the point where I was like, yeah, but you're not going to do the work. Yeah, so it's like,
Okay. I want you to watch this video with me.
Okay.
Done a terrible job of getting this together. Right, okay.
I fell in love with an essay by Strangest Loop, and it is a list of things that are not doing the thing. So here is a list of things that are not doing the thing. Preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Messaging friends who may or may not be doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing a banger tweet about how you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on the obstacles in the way of you doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all of the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how other people did the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading this essay isn't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing.
What do we think of that?
He's right.
So what makes doing the thing difficult?
I think it's all of the considerations that I create about doing the thing.
Like what?
Like, what are people going to think? What what things will suffer or not suffer, what will be impacted or won't be impacted. Is this a me thing? Is it a together thing? If I do the thing, we're staying where we are for the next couple of years, or we're not. I don't know. I just throw up all of these artificial blockers to doing the thing in search of something.
When you say, is it a me thing or are we doing it together? What's that in reference to?
That's it. Is it me taking this on, or is this me going into business with somebody?
I mean, going into business with somebody meaning what? I'm confused as to what you mean by that.
Oh, like, do I say to Adam, yeah, keen, let's discuss like how this would actually work, me taking up the business, or me sitting down with, say, Josh, for example, and saying, right, this opportunity's come up, should we look at this?
Is it a you thing where you literally
Sorry, yeah.
take the business over as Alex Gibson, or
Yeah.
does AMP acquire the business?
Correct. Yeah.
Understood. Got it. Okay.
That's
Well,
probably the biggest blocker. I think
okay.
everything else, for me, it makes sense to do the thing.
Okay. Well then let's look at that one, because that's clearly the thing that's keeping you stuck. Okay. Well, what are the benefits of doing it with Josh?
He gets to lead.
Okay. I'm gonna challenge your phrasing on that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the benefit
Of doing it with Josh? No.
I want you to rephrase that so that
Yeah.
you and your perspective and decisions are at the core of that question, not someone else as the subject of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not that Josh gets to lead, it's that what do you get to do?
As in, like, I get to follow.
Correct.
Be led.
Correct. Okay. What other pros are there?
I think from how I understand it currently runs to what it could run like, he would massively decrease the time it takes to achieve that.
Achieve what?
Skill set. From like
getting it to a good point.
Yeah, like automation perspective, systemization. I suppose more so just the automation stuff. I feel like there is like a sense of I don't really know. It's a lot of it comes down to like caring about how he will feel or view me if I choose not to include him in that transaction.
So when you so one of the first things you said was, what are people going to think, right? Are those two things closely related? When you say people, do you actually mean Josh?
Yeah, within my realm of significant people, I don't think there's anybody else that kind of steps close.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that if you do include him, by default, Josh would lead it?
No, I think he would lead aspects of it. He doesn't have the skill set to deliver the work. He doesn't, but he has the skill set to do like the process automation. He's quite strong at galvanizing people
Mm-hmm.
who would be inheriting people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the more I think about it, like it doesn't really make sense for him to be a part of the transaction as, like, say, a shareholder.
Okay.
But there would absolutely be benefits to him being involved from, like, an automation workflow perspective. And I'm just not sure how that exists outside of our current working relationship, with it being like a separate thing. Given that a lot of the conversations we have at the moment around automation and how he constantly refers to, like, accounting firms are just fucking ideal for what we're doing at the moment. Like, it just...
Well, then that, from my perspective at least, it looks like there's the perfect synergy here.
Yeah.
What if you, Alex, took the lead on actually acquiring this and leading the accounting firm that you want to acquire, and they immediately became a client of Amped?
Yeah.
And that way you get all of the benefits of Josh doing all of the process automations. The company, Amped, gains the massive benefit of a huge case study because you have all of the operational control to do absolutely anything within it.
Yeah.
You get to grow and scale an accounting company, which you intuitively know exactly what is required to grow it. You have the resource to grow it based on Josh's operational understanding and process automations and all the rest of it. Then you have the freedom to do exactly what you want without all of the bureaucracy and red tape that is associated with a pure vendor-client relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we know that it makes logical sense. I think you're struggling to make it make emotional sense. Because candidly, you're a very smart bloke. You didn't need me to explain that to you. You know intuitively that this is a good, smart decision. That's why you can very clearly follow the logic of why it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that is holding you back is your lack of desire to do the thing because of blank. And I think if I was a betting man, which I am, I would hazard a guess that the reason that you struggle with the idea of this is because it puts you dead center in the limelight with a target on your head. Because if it fails, it's on you. And I think that's what you're trying to avoid.
Yeah, that could be plausible. The other thing that comes up for me though is almost like this commitment to Josh from like the last 8 years of working together. Like, everything has been grouped and consolidated. Or 500k and the dumpling stuff, like, together. And then this is just how my belief system sits at the moment, is like I'd be the one to break like the unwritten commitment bond, or I don't know, agreement that we've got. And then my fear becomes that could be a stimulus for him to actually be like, kind of, fuck this slog that we've got going on. I don't know, I'll go and start shipping AI automation stuff, which is super high margin. It's all he's lived and breathed, and then that kind of leaves everything else in the dust. So I don't know, I've got this fear of kind of rocking the boat or sabotaging that commitment in fear of what it may lead to, but that is just a completely made up fucking knows what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, let's walk that road, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you do take this to Josh and you say, hey, look, I got approached to take over this accounting practice. I want to use that so that we can go into it and do all of the stuff that you're talking about, all the AI, all the process automation, and we have complete carte blanche control. Josh then says, actually, fuck you. I don't want to do that. You've broken this unwritten rule that we have, which is we do everything together. And as a result, I'm off, leaving you in the dust. I'm going to go and sell my own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. You figure out all of this, whatever. Okay. Well, if he wants to do that, does he destroy the relationship that you have built?
No, I don't. No.
So then why would that be any different if you wanted to go and do your own thing?
But it's not. It isn't any different.
So if Josh doing the same thing that you're talking about doing with 100x times the anger and, for want of another phrase, vim, wouldn't sour the relationship for you, why do you think you doing that would sour the relationship for him? Because either he's so emotionally maladjusted that you have to be joined at the hip with everything that you do, and he is entirely, wholly waiting for you to put his foot out of line so he can tear the whole castle down, or he would behave in the exact same way that you would if he came to you with something similar.
Yeah.
Well, which one is it? Because both can't be true.
Yeah, no, I don't think he would.
Okay. So you don't think he would react in the way that
No.
you're scared of him reacting?
No, I don't see it to be like this. I don't see it to be like a blow-up reaction, but it could be an encourager for that to become his main focus, to distract him from our current operation. But then me getting involved with something else, you could argue, also detracts from what we're building together.
Agreed.
So why would you do it?
Or might I offer a different perspective? What's the harm?
What's the what?
What's the harm? Does Amped essentially run itself right now?
At the core of the business, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as of right now, based on the amount of money that Amped makes, is it survivable? Can you survive with just that as an income?
The business can operate.
Okay.
But personally, and I think this has kind of been the motivator to look into Adam's opportunity, is that it's not going to present me with any substantial improvement in lifestyle unless we exit out of the business.
Right.
With how it currently stands. With how it currently stands. 12 months from now, it could be a totally different scenario. We could have added 40 more headcount, which would make a massive, because we're at like that, just above that break-even point where every other seat now is just pure margin. Like, we've done the hard work to build it to that point. So yeah, 12 months from now, and it carries on growing the rate it is, like, could be totally different business.
Yeah. So theoretically,
like, do I pass up on this or not?
Theoretically, if you keep just ticking Amped along, acquiring new headcount, keeping the headcount that you've got, not doing any kind of crazy, insane growth mechanism to try and get you there, but simply just letting time catch up, you have something that not only keeps you afloat, but something that is actually a reasonably solid little profit center for your own income. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's say that you, considering that you don't have to do that much active work on Amped right now, you look at another opportunity. And Josh, in the mirror world, looks at another opportunity, right? He starts looking at AI automations and scaling and doing systems and all the rest of it. Yeah. Well, at the point in which your focus and his focus are outside of Amped, Amped will probably do exactly what you think it will, which is it will tick along slowly. So long as nothing egregious happens, you don't end up churning a bunch of headcount. You probably pick up some clients here and there, but nothing crazy. You both go and work on your individual things, and those individual things have a better or potentially an alternative mechanism of making your own personal lives more comfortable. Okay. So now the seesaw is equally balanced by that logic, right? Okay. Well, if you on your side of the business can bring a referral to the table, which is, let's say, a 5 to 10 grand a month contract for all of the automations and process automation and whatever, you're feeding both sides, right? Okay, so there is some latent benefit. Can Josh, while he's doing his AI automation stuff, can he find people who require a finance function and bring them over to the table? Probably. There's no guarantees, but probably. Okay, so he's also feeding both sides. And both of your own incomes are growing faster than simply if AMP grows. And it plays more to your strengths and enjoyment than anything else.
Yeah.
The problem that you have is you think that there is this unwritten rule that says you can't do anything outside of Josh because then this is a betrayal. When are you going to be done walking on eggshells around your business partner? Because if you think that the only reason that you can keep going is because he is still in the business, you are basically a barnacle. And you're just counting down days until the whale decides to rub against a bit of coral and you come flying off. But what if you took ownership for your own life and the lives of your wife and your kids? And you said, this is something that I know that if I did it, I'd crush it. Do you think that you could actually run and operate this accountancy firm well enough? If the answer is no, then say no.
Is that your phone or my phone?
I think it's actually my laptop. That's my fault.
Can I? How hard can it be?
Famous last words.
Yeah, no.
Here's a better question. Why is he selling it?
He wants to retire, basically.
Okay, got it. So he's just aged out of the business.
So his options are he sells it or he puts in a really solid accountant and lets them run it. But then he reckons he wouldn't be able to sit as like a passive shareholder.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, from a delivery perspective, yeah, I think I could purchase it and run it.
Okay. Let's say you do purchase it and you do run it. How much money does that make you personally month on month?
That's a good question. Let's set in the region of.
Yep. No, I can. Okay.
Rev. Net profit before owner's rem, 335k a year.
So
before finance, repayment, seller finance, etc., which are about 8k a month.
Okay. So let's knock off 100 grand.
For.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize that there were table terms. Okay, so 5,700.
Yeah, would be monthly cash out the door on servicing the purchase, leaving about 22k of free cash flow monthly.
Okay. So what about the 100 grand up front?
Yeah, I've got to come up with that somehow.
Okay. How you plan on doing that?
That will be some sort of loan, I think.
Okay. So then you got the loan repayment.
Yeah.
Realistically, what's the loan payment?
I don't know, say what, over maybe 3 years, 8%.
Okay, so you end up paying what, plus minus 125? Maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah, that'd be about $3.5 grand a month.
Okay.
So free cash flow would be sitting about, it'd probably 16, 17K a month.
Okay. When you add that to your amped remuneration, are you in a
That's
better place
triple my
financially? Huh?
Huh?
That's
triple my amp. Yeah.
Okay. So essentially you're making 4 times what you make now.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's including all the loan payments, including anything that you would need to do in order to do the thing.
Yeah.
You have a business that would otherwise net you 300 grand a year in net profit once it's all paid through, probably in the next 10 years, realistically.
Say that again. Say that last bit again.
So after everything is paid through,
Yeah.
ceteris paribus, nothing else changes. The business nets 300K.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what does it sell at in terms of a multiple if you went and took it to the open market? 1.5, 2?
Accounting firms typically at a good price would be 1.1 times revenue.
Okay. Fine. So you'd have to double the business to get $1 million net if you want to take it out.
He wants 97 cents on the dollar for the business.
Got it.
You could sell it up to $1.20 potentially.
Got it. Okay. So you're buying cash at a discount. So you're buying cash at a discount. It 4x's your personal take home. It's within your current skill set. It has the opportunity for synergies within your current company. Whose permission are you looking for to buy this? Josh's?
Yeah.
Okay, go and ask him. What's the worst thing that you could say?
I suppose it's the challenge of like why would this exist outside of like what we've currently got going on?
Why would it? What's the argument?
Because what we currently got going on doesn't fund life as it needs to right now.
Sure. That is a perfectly reasonable, rational explanation as to why. Why else?
Because his fucking situation's fucked up.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Sarah gets half of it. What do you mean? Like, it's still unresolved.
So, I mean, look, like, as bad as it sounds, I'm gonna step away from, like, I guess the mindset coaching element of this, and I'm just gonna talk like business numbers, whatever else. Given the situation you have with your business partner and his financial, let's say, the situation he finds himself in from a financial standpoint, because of the situation in his personal life, it makes absolutely zero sense to involve him in this simply from a numbers perspective. From a numbers perspective, you get 50% of everything that you're seeing on that page disappears into someone else's pocket. It just doesn't make financial sense, right? Logically, why would you do that? You wouldn't. It's the equivalent of taking half of the money you get and burning it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like Josh sees half. Josh sees 25% of all of that money. So why would you include him? Knowing that 25% of the money is basically being taxed by an invisible entity. Doesn't make sense, right? So you have to do it outside of him. So if for nothing else than basic mathematics, it doesn't make sense to involve him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's say you go to him and you say, hey, look, I want to do this thing. It means that, you know, I'll be able to provide for the family in the way that I want to. It's an opportunity that I feel uniquely placed to be able to solve. And arguably the most important part of all of this, the simple logic of I'm buying cash at a discount. Why would I not do this? And if Josh says to you, you know what? Yeah, but I want to be involved. Absolutely. I'm going to make them a client of Amped immediately. And you get a sandbox to play around with all of the process automations. And we get a case study out of it and a retainer that goes directly into the thing that you want to be doing, which is AI and process automations for accounting firms. So he gets what he wants, but he doesn't get the money because he specifically doesn't get half of the money anyway. So unfortunately, from a numerical business perspective, it doesn't make sense to include him. From a moral and ethical standpoint, that is something that you have to square the circle with him. Going back to the mindset coaching element, your desire not to rock the boat because your fear is he will leave you in the dust is not irrational, because you want to feel supported. You want to feel like there's someone who can do this with you, because otherwise all of the work falls on you, right? That is the same stuff we've been talking about. That is your absent king. That is Alexander saying he's going to figure it out by himself. And I don't need to help him. And so you're looking externally instead of looking internally. What's the worst that happens if you do take this on? Josh leaves, right? Away he goes and does his own thing, right?
Yeah, I don't think he leaves.
Okay. He just splits his focus.
He just, yeah, it's a splits focus, which is split enough as it stands.
So you focus even less on that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Is your focus also going to be split?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're evens on that. You're both doing the same thing. Okay, what else?
I think it's the thought of him kind of getting the encourager to go and do, I don't know, rip up the AI stuff and build something that's really strong. And I mean, not be a part of it.
How come? Why is that a problem?
I don't know.
Could it be that you know that what Josh is working on right now could go stratospheric, and you're thinking about all of the money that you might lose by not being associated with it?
Or why have I not also put the time into learning the stuff that he's learned?
Because
so
the
that
sky is blue.
I don't miss out on that stratospheric thing.
Who cares? But like as silly as it sounds, who cares, right? Like, by that logic, you can also beat yourself up for not coming up with the idea of Apple. You can also beat yourself up by not realizing that Bitcoin was going to pump at any of the various pumps it has. If we're going to use that logic, then you should be kicking yourself 1,000 times a day about all of the opportunities that you've missed. But it doesn't make sense to do that, right?
No.
You can logically delineate between those two things, but because you're already in bed with Josh, it's hard for you to look at his potential success and be like, well, I want to be on that rocket ship too. Why didn't I put in the time to do the same thing, right? So I'll give you a very tangible example. So my old business partner, Shenny, does a very similar thing to Josh. And I see the work that he's doing, and I'm like, this kid's a fucking genius. I have no desire to do the work that he does, knowing as well as he does that he could absolutely go stratospheric. But the required skills and talent and interest and all of the culmination of all of those like concentric Venn diagram circles of like interest, work ethic, skill, natural ability, network, whatever, all of those things have coalesced into him seeing this is my opportunity that I'm going to take on and go and run with. But why do I need to feel jealous of that? Why can I not look at him and be one of the people on the sidelines cheering him on, being like, that's my fucking guy? And the reason that you struggle with that is because you're currently in a position of scarcity where you look at his potential earnings and go, fuck, I want that to be me too. Right? So I did a podcast with a friend of mine years ago now, and it's partially a bit, I think, from him, but I think it also speaks, and I guess now that I do mindset stuff, it speaks to how he thinks as well. He said something on this podcast. He said, "It is not enough for me to win; others must also lose."
Mm.
And in your own way, you're behaving in the same manner. If Josh wins, you also want to win. But you would rather you and Josh stayed exactly where you are and he doesn't get the opportunity to win if you don't get to go with him. And I say this with love, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's not so much about not wanting him to win. I feel like it's more me, and like, because I look at him and now I feel like he's kind of discovered and really put time into this really high income skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And you just use a scenario of like you and Shenny.
Mm-hmm.
But I also view you possessing this really high income skill set and the stuff that you've mastered and put time and energy into.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I reflect on self, I don't see that.
Okay, great. Have you given yourself the opportunity to do that?
I don't know.
Okay. So I'll give you more context then with me and Shenny, right? So when me and Shenny first started the business, it was my thing, right? And I said to Shenny, "Yo, come and do this because our skill sets are very, very complementary. I'm the sales guy, I'm the marketing guy, I'm the people person. You're the systems thinker, you understand process, you like all the technical stuff. You handle that, I'll do the other stuff, right?" And the dynamic between us was always that, right? I would go out and find the business, he would make the business work. That was the agreement that we had from point zero. And I never had a problem filling my skill set, right? Like I can go out and network and I can go out and find business and I can go and sell deals. And we brought in business. But I would look at the results that we were getting and I would feel a type of way because we weren't getting the results that I knew that we could have gotten. I knew that Shenny had the capacity to deliver great work, but for whatever reason, we weren't. And that became a source of frustration because I'm doing my job and you're not. Right. Well, that relationship continued and continued, and it went through various iterations, right? We built the software company, we built a coaching program, whatever, right? And I always felt like I was doing my bit and I never got what I needed from Shenny.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going out on my own. I'm doing this for me because I know either I'm going to be shown up when I go out on my own 2 feet, I'm the fucking problem, and I can't make the business do what it needs to. Or the fear that I had all along, which is I was dragging Shenny through this and he couldn't stand on his own 2 feet and it was up to me to do all of the work and blah, 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 would become apparent because I would succeed and he wouldn't. And that was the very, I would argue, selfish and to some degree toxic, I hate that word, but it's useful in this context, way of thinking that I was going to prove to myself that I could stand on my own 2 feet. And if he died, he died. Right? Well, in that same period, after we decided to go our separate ways, Shenny said, I want to focus on AI. I want to focus on this stuff. I really love it. And I know I'm good at it. And I was like, great, crack on. I'm going to go and do my stuff. Right? And I did. And in that time, I've served a shit ton of different clients. They've seen amazing results. I wrote a book. I did a TEDx talk. I'm doing all of this stuff. And I'm like, fuck yeah. I proved to myself that I could do it. And it was only recently that I realized that there was still a part of me that felt obliged to like help Shenny along, because that was our dynamic for so long. And I had to go to him probably in the last three to 4 months and be like, hey man, I have to let you stand on your own 2 feet, not for you, but for me, because I still have one eye looking over my shoulder, making sure that you're cool. And I can't do that because it's not good for my mental health, because it makes me feel like I'm still trying to pull you along, but it's also not good for your development because you've got to be able to figure this shit out by yourself. When we had that conversation, he was like, cool, I appreciate that. Over the last year, he has spent all of his time developing, learning the skill sets that he needs to, in his own words, stand on his own 2 feet, right? But it was when we broke apart that he realized that that is what he needed to do. Because yes, the technical skills were there, but all of the other stuff that I previously filled the role of, he had to learn and develop. And now, seeing him stand on his own 2 feet, he's got all of that. But it was the requirement of us separating that made him, that was the forcing function for him to go and learn and develop those things that he needed in order to be a successful businessman in his own right. So I think the same thing here is true for you and Josh, is that when that separation happens, you're both going to find blind spots that you didn't realize you had because the other person covered them so well. And the only way of you getting to a point where you can stand on your own 2 feet and he can go and run, if he wants to, and he may not even want to, right? We're discussing a hypothetical where you don't even know if that's desire at all, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going in that direction, right, and you say, okay, cool, I'm going to go and acquire this accounting company because I know that I can do some damage with this, and it's going to, fulfill the roles that I have for my family, and it's going to help me, and it's going to help me kind of feel like I'm standing on my own 2 feet. And you separate, you're going to realize that you have a shit ton of blind spots that Josh covered really well. And Josh is going to realize that he has a shit ton of blind spots that you covered really well. And it is part of your entrepreneurial journey to realize that you have to be able to fill those gaps by yourself, in and of yourself. And it doesn't mean that you have to be an A player in all of those things, but you need to be able to manage them so that you can hire for them. Right? And I think it is the requirement for you guys to go in your own directions for you to find that. So this is not an aspect of like betrayal, right? It is the most compassionate thing you can do for your business partner. And I'm obviously, having gone through this, I'm uniquely placed to be like, you will both be better for it. And you gain an appreciation for the thing that the other person was doing that they made look effortless. And then you try doing it and you're like, I want to blow my brains out. This is the worst thing ever. Right? And the thing that is effortless for you will be the most effort for them. That is the reason that you work well as a pair. But in order for you to feel like you can stand on your own 2 feet and you can run a business that is you and not you and Josh, you have to give yourself the opportunity to be just you. Does that make sense?
And you're not insinuating that what currently exists has to evaporate.
No, not at all.
By way of you saying like venturing in your own realm of direction.
100%. You absolutely can do both. Yeah.
As it does. It's just in your situation, there's nothing that exists now, or it does.
Yeah, no. Like we just turn into referral partners for each other.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
This is the next stage in your entrepreneurial journey where you have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Because for too long, you have been conjoined with Josh where you come as a pair, right? That's why you did the dumpling business together. Whose idea was that?
Josh probably led that one.
Okay, great. As a result of that dumpling business, are you in a better or worse spot financially? Worse, right? Arguably worse, right? Does it have legs? Does it have legs so that you guys will be able to get out of it? Absolutely, great. But that is the basic tenet of all business plans, right? You eat shit for a little bit and then it figures itself out. Yeah. You just have to keep doing the thing, right? Which you have, right? You're booking a shit ton of webinars, blah, 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 right? Well, now this thing that you are doing for just you feels like a step outside of that established parameter of we do stuff together. But it doesn't have to be. If you said, hey, Josh, by the way, I'm out of the dumpling business and fuck Amped. I'm going to go and do this thing separately. Go fuck yourself. That's a very separate situation than the one that we're describing, right?
Yeah.
Is there a way of the dumpling business and Amped giving you the amount of money that this accounting company will give you to own the thing? No, not anytime soon. Okay. Do you think that Josh would, considering that you have a wife and 3 kids, do you think Josh would say, I don't want you to do this because I think that our collective struggle is more important than you taking care of your family?
No.
So then what are you afraid of? Let me ask you an even tougher question.
Go on.
Where does your allegiances lie? With Josh or with your wife and kids?
Allegiance is being like commitment. Is that understanding the word?
Yeah. You can internalize it however you like, but yeah, where do your allegiances lie?
With my wife and kids.
Okay, great. So don't make the decision for you, make it for them. What does the decrease in financial pressure look like for Yaz and the kids and you if you acquire this accountancy company?
Oh, it would completely change how like destroy the pressure. It would alleviate a lot of pressure.
Okay. So you're currently making a decision based on how your business partner might feel. That's on one side of the weighing scale.
Yeah.
And the other side of the weighing scale is, in your own words, changing your family's life. Explain to me how in your mind those things are equally weighted.
They're not.
When
you frame it the way that you do, they're not. It's evident that it isn't. It's a non-issue, really, but it's felt like an issue without you kind of digging in and break it down and making it logical.
So then, if that was true, what would you do? If it was an obvious decision to do it, how do you do it? What is the order of operations?
I'd map out what it actually looks like with Adam, and then I would have a conversation with Josh that this is what I'm committing to.
Interesting. What makes you want to do it that way? What makes you want to go Adam first, then Josh?
Because if I went Josh first and told him this is my intention, and then it didn't come off, then I would feel like I'm sabotaged that connection for no reason.
If you work under the premise that is going to sabotage the connection, that's exactly how you feel. I watched you process that in real time and catch yourself and go, oh, fuck. As soon as I say this, he's going to kill me.
Yeah, I know. It's just...
Your life is as easy.
I think this is what pisses me off in hindsight. It's just a shit ton of non-issues. It's all made up stuff in your head, like between your ears. It's just made up shit.
Do you want me to really red pill you here?
I don't even know what that means.
Have you never seen The Matrix?
I have seen The Matrix, red pill, blue pill, but I see it all the time on like Twitter and memes and stuff, but I just don't.
Okay, so when Morpheus offers Neo the choice, you can take the red pill or the blue pill. The blue pill returns you out to the regular world, and you never know anything different. You continue thinking exactly as you were, and you forget every experience that you've had that led you to this point. Or you take the red pill and you see the world for what it is. We introduce you to the Matrix, and we explain how the world is. Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I get it now.
So the red pill in this situation, what is the past?
What is the past?
What is the past?
It doesn't exist.
Today. Yes, but what is the now? What is the past?
I don't know. fuck, I don't know how to describe it.
Okay.
I don't know, experiences. I don't know.
The past is
Perception.
memories. That's all it is.
Memories.
The past is just memories.
Yeah.
Because you have the right now, the present, what we are
Yeah.
currently in. The past is just the present that we remember from a
Yeah.
period of time that has passed,
Yeah.
right? Okay. What is the future by that same logic?
I almost said memories then. Memories. Memories that are yet to happen.
Basically, yeah, like in a really weird
Like-
way, the future is just thoughts that are
Yeah.
that preclude the present, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the past isn't any more real than how we remember it to be real, right? The future is not any more real than how we might experience it in as time passes. So the only truth that we have as of right now is where we are right now, which is the present. So you're looking at all of the possible alternate views of how things could go wrong in the future. But all of them are just thoughts. Do you control your thoughts?
Yeah.
Can you choose your thoughts?
Yeah.
Can you reframe your thoughts?
Yeah.
You've done all of those exercises, right? You know all of those things to be true. Well, then, if the future is nothing more than a collection of thoughts, can you reframe your current thoughts about the future now so that you don't experience any of these possible, as you called it, non-decisions when you look at what the future might bring? For example, right? And I'll contextualize this within my own context. I spent the last year, basically up until about March, April. From March, April last year up until April this year, I was a sales coach and I was getting shit tons of amazing case studies. I was working with people. They were loving the service. They'd got great results. I was enjoying it. It was fantastic, right? I built up a business. I built up a book of referrals. I was doing really, really good work. I got to the highest level of personal income that I've ever personally achieved. And I decided to yeet that whole thing out the fucking window and become a mindset coach. Logically, if I looked at that at the demarcation point, right, where I like split those routes, why would I logically possibly switch to being a mindset coach when I have all of the successes, all of the like public perception, all of the evidence, all of the methodology, all of the skills, yada, 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 yada. Why would I ever stop going down that road if I thought that being a mindset coach was dangerous, or I thought that it had a low chance of success, or if I thought that I'm not the right person to do this, I don't have the necessary skills or capabilities? I would look at that and go, nah, not going to do that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing now. Because all of the evidence that I have in the present moment is that this is a smart route to take. But if the future is just a collection of thoughts that preclude the present after time has gone by, then if I look at that and I see nothing but sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns on that side of the road, then logically I can go, oh yeah, well, that's fine. I can go and do that and I'm going to crush it. But that is fundamentally a framing issue. Because if you look over to that side of the road and you see nothing but war and death, you're probably not going to take that road.
Yeah.
But that is you in the present framing the future like that. That's what you have to realize. So when you say this is a collection of non-decisions, you've just broken it down really logically so that I could see it. I'm going to challenge you and say, no, you have just simply framed it that way in your own mind, meaning that you couldn't see my version of it. How you thought about it created the illusion that that was the truth. I just don't have the same biases and skepticism about your current situation as you do. Therefore, I can see a different version of it. But neither of them, and this is the beauty of it, neither of them are true. But one of them precludes action and the other one precludes avoidance. Yeah. Because if I look at your situation, I'm like, dude, this is such an amazing opportunity. You 4x your income. It sits within a skill set that you already have. You're buying money for a discount. Why would you not do this? And you go, oh yeah, fuck, I never thought of it like that. I guess all of those things are true. Yes, I would agree. They are true. For me, looking at your situation in a way that you can't currently. But for you, looking at your situation, you see all of those things. Josh is going to hate me. He's going to, disappear off and do his own AI thing. I'm not going to be able to get on board with that. I wish I had the time to actually spend all the time that he did doing it. He's going to go stratospheric. I'm going to be left behind. I'm going to have to deal with all of the fallout, blah, 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 blah. All of those things are true in your mind, based on your perception and biases, looking at the same future that I am.
Yeah.
But it's a framing issue. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because if you naturally came to the same conclusion I did, you would have done this already, right? Right. It's a framing issue. And the reason that you struggle with that from a psychological perspective is that you've gotten so used to, if I do things for me, I'm going to fail and I can't not be the golden child. Going all the way back to the first session, right? You're still protecting that golden child image, because if you fail, you then have all of the fallout to deal with.
Yeah.
You've got your siblings who are like, oh, Alex, the golden child, if that image breaks, what do your family think of you? Right? If this business fails, you just took on 100 grand of debt. What does that mean for the family situation? What does that mean for Yaz and the kids? And then if it fails and Josh is already up on the other side going stratospheric, fuck, I looked a gift horse in the mouth. I should have just stayed where I was. Right? Alternatively, that is the negatively framed view. What if you framed it positively? What if by doing this, you got a chance to lead? Wholly, truly, fully you. And that opportunity is what you needed for you to go stratospheric. What if this acquisition led to 4 more acquisitions of other accounting firms in the same boat? Accounting is quite an old industry, right? You're going to have lots of people in that kind of 55 to 65 bucket who are looking to get out of the thing that they've built. And if you can buy them all at a discount, congratulations, you do a roll up and now you're selling that on to a PE firm or a VC fund or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And now the multiple probably is higher than 1.2. It's probably closer to 1.5. Well, that roll up now is probably well over $1 million, if not closer to 2, if you do 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
At the same scale. And now you walk away with your exit value of 3.5 million. Where are you now, right? Give yourself the opportunity to succeed. Because it's very easy to find all of the reasons why it won't work, right? The negativity bias in the human mind means that negative emotions are far more emotionally salient, right? We remember negative things way easier than we do positive things. And by the same logic, it is way easier for us to project into the future those same negative behaviors and negative thoughts. Well, what if you solely focused on the reframing and you said, it is my job now to see the opportunity in things, right? Your reticular activating system in your brain is going to selectively filter your environment to prove your own beliefs. So what if you changed what the filter is? You have the opportunity in front of you, theoretically, of a lifetime. You can, within a matter of months, 4x your income.
Yeah.
You can add a client to Amped that is going to allow Josh complete carte blanche to do all of the stuff that he wants to do. He's the one who brought up the fact that accountancies are the perfect client for you, right? Okay, great. And go and bring him one and be like, hey man, look, go buck wild. Whatever you think of automating, process automations, whatever, do it here. We have a sandbox. I will okay every single decision you want to make. What if that gives Josh the opportunity to do the thing that you're scared of him doing and set up this AI automation thing that allows him to go stratospheric? Who says you can't sit and cheer him on from the sidelines and be like, that's my fucking boy? It's a framing issue. I would urge you to have the conversation with Josh before you have the conversation with Adam. and talk him through your thought process. You're not asking for permission. You're simply being transparent. This is where my head's at. This is what I want. This is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm choosing to do it. This is what I want to do with it. This is when it's going to happen. This is what it entails. What are your thoughts? And if he goes, nah, fuck you, don't do it. Who do your allegiances lie with? Josh or your family? Because if it's the option between changing your family's life and keeping your business partner happy, which one do you pick?
Family.
There's your answer. You don't need permission. You have to do what you know is right for your family. So do that.
Cool.
Easy as that, right?
Next topic.
That is the end of our session. Now you got to go and do the thing.
Yeah.
Do the thing. Catch me up next week.